So everyone, today I'll be showing you how you can master shooting in GTA 5 online to hit more targets in the best possible settings. There's like rocket launchers, snipers, assault rifles, SMGs, pistols. So there's a different variety of different weapons in the game, and a lot of people are wondering, how a lot of these griefers or players online that they come up against, how they kill you faster. Now, first things first, I will leave a link in the description for a video on my main channel showing you how health works and how you can get max health in the game. But essentially, you want to be working towards getting to rank 120. Rank 120 is like the level that I would recommend to aim for, because that unlocks firstly max health, but also it unlocks everything that you can purchase in the game. That is like the base quota that you'll need to fill to reach that level so you can get those performance stats up for your character. Because if you are a low level, like a level 1 against like a level 200 player, even if that level 200 player is mediocre at shooting, they'll still be able to have a little bit extra health that will be able to gun down the newer player much faster, unless they have like a bulletproof helmet or if they have armor. So I'll leave those links down in the description for you to figure out how you can get your own guns and armor and snacks, all of that for your gunplay. But in terms of settings here, what I'd recommend is first pausing the game and then going down to the settings tab. Now, if you're on PlayStation 5, if you're on Xbox Series S or X or PC, which are my recommended consoles, if you're playing on Xbox One or PS4, you're gonna have a lot of hard time with like the choppiness of the game itself, so just bear that in mind. So right over here, firstly go down to the display settings and make sure that the graphics mode is set to at least performance or performance ray tracing, because if you put it on fidelity here, I'll show you right now, it gets very choppy, right? It gets to 30 FPS. Yeah, it might look a little bit better graphics, but you don't want to sacrifice that. So we're gonna make sure that at least you have the ray tracing option on, and if not, performance ray tracing, so it looks much better. Now, what you can also do under here is, under that same display option, make sure that your radar is on, the HUD is on, and the weapon target is set to complex. Now, what you also want to do is make sure that you have your brightness set to a certain level that you can see within your monitor, and motion blur, you'd actually want to turn it down to like 75%. In terms of the in-game depth of field, this is very important for long distance shooting. Keep that on. Your screen kill effects, you could turn it on or off, doesn't matter, and that is about it for you. Now, if you like to play without audio, I would turn on subtitles, but if you play with the headset, just keep it off. You don't really need it. Now, for the camera settings over here, this is very important. Now, what you want to be doing is just following these steps. So the all allow independent camera modes, you could keep it off. Allow vehicle camera height, I would set that to high. First person auto level camera, keep that on. Now, the first person on foot field of view, max it out, right? And now first person ragdoll, turn it off. First person combat roll, turn it off. First person head bobbing, turn that off. First person third person cover, you're gonna turn that on. And now first person vehicle auto center, keep it off. And then first person vehicle hood, keep that off. And then drive by relative camera, keep that on. And that is about it. Now, for audio settings, like I said again, it's not really important, so we're going to skip ahead over here. The controls, you want to keep it on the tap to sprint and switch it to hold to sprint. Now, what that'll allow you to do is now you will be able to just sprint by holding the X button instead of tapping it. And I know how a lot of people in the game, they just bash that X button, and it's not good for your fingers and also for your controller to just spam the button. And it's much easier to just click hold to sprint, so you could shoot players down much more quicker. And what you could also do is while you're aiming, if you want to do like a professional roll, it's called a combat roll, you just click the square button or the X button if you're on Xbox to make that roll occur. And that's how you can, shoot players down and stuff. So going back to the control tab over here, what you also want to do is, I would recommend turning off adaptive triggers if you're on PlayStation 5. It's not important in these games, and it just hinders you while you're playing the game. It's just for an effect, so I wouldn't use that. And now for third person aiming sensitivity, keep it at low when you're starting as a new player and slowly increase it. I know a lot of Call of Duty players like to have their sensitivity high, but in this game it's relative to the player and their personal adjustment. Now if you have stick drift, you can mess around with these dead zone options to fix the stick drift. If it's moving too much, you can do that right from that option. So that is how you can adjust for that. Keep your drive-by control type to aim and fire. This is good when you're shooting and driving by, and I'll show you an example of what that means over here. So when you are in a vehicle and you have like a pistol, you can also just hold the L1 button or LB if you're on Xbox to aim in, and then you can use R1 or RB to shoot the players with your target right there. And that'll be very helpful if you want to, shoot those players while you're driving in a certain vehicle in GTA 5 Online. If we go into the first person point of view, so if we touch the touchpad button a few times to get into that mode, this is now how you can have the best possible settings. And when you're playing the game and you're trying to get your kills faster, these are the settings that I would recommend, because now it's much more smoother, much more quicker, and you can hit targets much better with these certain settings activated. And now if you're like going 1v1 against a player and you want to do a combat role, you get a better understanding of where your surroundings are at and how many enemies players are around you, and etc. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. It's been your boy Optage, and goodbye.